We're making the United States the Bitcoin superpower, the crypto capital of the world, and the undisputed leader in artificial intelligence. We're leading China by a lot.
So with Bitcoin trying to show some strength, a bounce off that very critical 50-week moving average that we talked about, what does the future look like? Is the bull market still intact, or are we heading down further? And this is just an extension of the pain. I'm going to break down some of the key catalysts. We're going to talk things like fear and greed. We're going to talk things about crypto mining stocks, and we'll take a look at that ADP report, which, by the way, just came in pretty bullish, as well as everything else going on in the market, keeping you ahead of the rest. All I ask for hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment down below. Are you bullish or bearish? And with that being said, let's get into the video. So like we said, fear and greed still sitting at a 23, but the market taking a little bit of an upside trend, breaking back up of $104,000 after that key bounce of the 50-week moving average. Lots of potential, but there is still some nervousness out there in the market. Remember, we've seen 20%, 30% dips before and always bounced off that key level. And yesterday we did exactly the same. Take a look at this. Historically, when we've moved on the 50-week average, the fear and greed index has been exactly where we are right now. Take, for example, September, we saw 99% to 109. April 2025, we saw a 50% pump to 125, all from very low fear and greed index. And that's kind of exactly where we are right now. So why did we get the bounce? And is this going to be a sustained move to the upside? Well, the fact of the matter is that Bitcoin supply at loss reached a whopping 30%. This level historically precedes major rallies. The fact is that, well, this is simply how much Bitcoin is at a price of which was bought and then relating that back to either profit or loss. Again, this generally therefore means a rally. Why? Because people hold on to their coins, and that's why we started to get an upside. Take a look at crypto mining stocks, an example. They are absolutely printing triple-digit gains right now. And the reality is you can see all of the top mining crypto stocks from Riot Blockchain, Marathon Patent Group, as well as Hunt 8 Mining and many more. What does this normally tell us? Well, the fact that when they start moving like this, when the upside becomes bigger, this shows demand, and it also shows there is significant energy behind the market. So from a technical standpoint, everything looks like it's sort of starting to create full send. Reality is the ADP jobs report came in with 42,000 additional jobs. This is actually the first time we've seen a growing jobs market in the private sector since July, but hiring was modest. So we do need to be mindful, and that's why we've seen a little bit of a push down in the potential rate cut for December to 61.5%. So lots of things that are going on in the market that, well, is creating volatility, but there definitely are some positives to think about. One of the big things you'll have seen today is the Trump tariff ruling. Just FYI, this won't come, I don't believe, until next year, but what does this look like? If the ruling was in favor that Trump tariffs are illegal, we could see a very big correction in the market, potentially up to $1 trillion of what would be going back to importers. But let's not worry about that. I think it's next year. People are making a way bigger deal than it needs to be. I'll keep you posted as that plays out. Talking of institutions, though, we actually did see a little bit of an ease off from institutional selling. BlackRock didn't move anything when it comes to Bitcoin. We saw a little bit of Fidelity, a little bit of ARK 21, but the big one, BlackRock. Remember, when they stop buying and stop selling and sit neutrally, that tells you volatility's here, but it also then normally sees BlackRock move back to buying Bitcoin. So this is going to be an important thing to keep an eye out over the next 24 hours. Now, some pretty insane news I want to break down here on the channel. $2 billion once again bought by the US Treasury back to their own debt. Yes, that's about $8 billion over the course of the last couple of weeks. You may ask yourself the question, well, why? Why are we seeing so much? Well, let's talk about it after this. All right, guys, there are 5 reasons why I believe Grape could be a top 20 coin within the next year. Grape is the most powerful chain ever created. That's right. I said ever created because every single user node has 1,000 transactions per second. It's infinitely scalable. More importantly, with 100 million, 200 million, even half a billion TPS within possibility. Why is this a big deal? Well, the reality is that they continue to build with the effortless, familiar UI and UX when it comes to gaming. This is incredibly bullish. The fact is that with Q4 of this year, Grape could set itself apart by being the most advanced AI chain on the market with the ability to create near instant apps, simple game smart contracts on chain, just a few sentences using natural language prompts by combining one of the most powerful chains ever built with the best AI features of any mainnet. The results of this feature ability to host the most complex games in Web3. That is not all. They also are incredibly scalable. As we said, the evolutionary mechanism for scalability potentially hitting over 700,000 TPS. That is a pretty big narrative indeed. But as we continue through Grape, there is even more. Vine versus other DAG-based systems, it's not even comparable. The fact is, the release date of 2023 with over potential 700,000 transactions increased with every connected node and post-quantum cryptographically secured, decentralized, with very low, near enough zero fees. Grape really does set itself apart from many other chains. And with the most advanced DAG-based layer 1 infrastructure for decentralized internet, the reality is that it delivers on everything from low barrier network validations, NFT marketplace, decentralized storage, as well as Web3 codeless integration. There is everything to think about when it comes to Grape. And that's not all. It is about to be relaunched. The relaunch is massive. And the reality is that you can simply get over here, sign up for an account, and get your hands on some Grape coins. It's going to be trading at almost $1,000 a coin without any functionality and without any of the announcements. GRP. Right now, you only have a very short window to get GRP before the relaunch. Currently only $1 per coin after bonuses, or essentially $3 with a 66% bonus. So if you're interested in a big release, half the circulating supply of Bitcoin, big relaunch, as well as one of the most powerful chains ever invented that you can grab for an absolute bargain, head over to the website linked in the description, sign up and grab yourself a bag. Now, let's get back to the regular content. So the reality is that there is the US Treasury buying a potential 1.25 trillion bond auction coming pretty soon. These will be 3-year, 10-year and 30-year bonds. And the fact is that they'll conduct these auctions over November 10th, 12th and 13th. So do be mindful of that. Now, you may be thinking, well, this is money printing too, but this is great news. This is the other way. Unfortunately, this is debt management. And actually what we're going to see is the price of these treasury bonds come down as more are printed, but the actual yield go up. What does this mean? If you're in risk assets such as Bitcoin, people are going to be more likely to move back into some of these treasury bonds. Think about it. The 30-year right now is about 4.7%. Why would people risk it with Bitcoin when they can just go and get a secure 4.7% on a 30-year treasury? We do need to be mindful of this. No one else is talking about it other than me on the channel. So again, 10th, 12th, 13th of November, watch out for the $1.25 trillion bond auction that is generally coming out over the course of the next couple of weeks. I'll keep you dialed in, keep your eyes peeled on it. But Metaplanet securing a $100 million loan to boost holdings. They're still going bullish, as we know MicroStrategy are as well. And Galaxy Digital revises its end of year price prediction for Bitcoin. So if you weren't bearish enough right now, they've dropped it from 185 to 120k. So, well, let's see how it all plays out. I think there's a lot of macro data that's coming in, a lot of volatility in the markets. But when you start to put things like job growth coming in, still potentially rate cuts coming in, Metaplanet buying $100 million from loans, and we start to talk about things like the supply to loss ratio and those crypto mining stocks, it feels like the market just got a little bit more optimistic over the last 24 hours. But as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's a very volatile time. We still hold that 50-week moving average. Sunday is make or break. Do we stay above? Do we stay below? I'll have you covered, as always, here on the channel. So make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget, turn your notification bell on. That way you don't miss a beat. Till next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.